Hey, it's Mr. Skin here, and I hope you enjoyed listening last week to part one of the Mr. Skin podcast where Andrea and I were at the AVN show in Las Vegas, and I got to say, it was a ton of fun. We truly interviewed a lot of big names in the adult space, probably about 25 interviews in all, and as we were putting these segments together, we're kind of giving you snippets of the best of the interviews we did, and I think this week will be a nice conclusion to a really fun time that her and I had. So, and by the way, some of the conversations went on so long that we really can't fit the whole thing into our podcast to make it work, but my crack staff is editing these, and I hope you enjoy what we put together. So in the future, we'll definitely be able to air some of these interviews in their entirety, and like I said, we were really happy with how they went. But for now, if you go to MrSkinPodcast.com or give us a call at 484-SKIN-POD, just let us know which of the interviews you'd like to hear more of, and we'll consider that for future podcasts. And be sure to check in next week, because we'll be back to talking about all the great celebrity nudity that's going on, and there's already been a ton of great stuff in the last couple of weeks that I want to get to. But before we do, let's go with part 2 of our AVN interviews. Skin Joy.
The legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast, from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts Mr. Skin, Jimmy Fela, and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Welcome to the Mr. Skin Podcast, part 2 of our AVN Spectacular here in Vegas.
There was so much nudity, we couldn't stuff it into a 1-pound bag. We had to go with a 2-pound bag.
And we're pretty good at stuffing stuff in.
Oh, my God.
We always try our best, but it was just too much.
As I stand here, I see a girl with red butt cheeks right in front of me. She must have been spanked recently.
Yeah, it's so funny. You'll be, seeing walking through AVN, and you see a booth like someone doing a podcast. Then you go 2 feet away, there's a girl being spanked or flogged. I think we saw Nina Hart tied to a St. Andrew's cross, being whipped with a flogger.
Nina Hart, yeah,
that was
pretty
crazy.
Yeah.
So today we have a couple of things in mind. We obviously want to talk to some more heavy hitters in the adult industry, but also me and Mr. Skin will answer the questions that we asked yesterday. We have some questions about, fuck dolls.
Oh my God.
And just kinks and fetishes. So we're going to be hitting the floor a little bit later, but bring you the best from AVN.
My only thing, I don't want to give away too much,
Sure.
but I did have my finger in the butthole of a one of those dolls. I'm glad I got the doll part out.
I know, I was like,
my own butthole. No, they had they're these lifelike dolls, and they said, try it. It's like they have a vagina and a butthole. I had to try the butthole.
Well, a little bit later, we'll figure out how the rest of them feel. I'm glad you got a sneak peek, though. But we have a lot of great people coming up, a lot of fans to talk to, and a lot to do. The energy is just as magical as it was yesterday. I think it's actually busier here today than I want to say yesterday. Or am I tripping?
You are not exaggerating. In fact, I've talked to some people. The floor is so much more crowded. I think it's because it's Friday. Maybe?
It's the weekend, yeah.
I don't know because I thought there was a ton of people here yesterday, and today it's, I don't want to say double, but you can't move around. You try to go to the bathroom, you're fighting through the throngs.
The throngs and thongs in the bathroom, right?
Throngs and thongs.
Well, we have a lot to get to, so let's go ahead and kick it off. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Mr. Skin Podcast, MrSkinPodcast.com from AVN.
Woohoo!
We've been talking to some amazing individuals me and Mr. Skin have, and I gotta say, Joanna Angel is in a league of her own because she's taken her career and made it her passion in a way. You've taken over where you're creating pieces and scenes and movies that really are what you like.
Thank you.
You want to do.
Thank you very much.
And that's so awesome.
You did your homework.
Well, Burning Angel
she's a fan.
Is an incredible website. And it's so funny because in this world, there's Joanna Angel and there's Burning Angel and there's like newcomers that are trying to kind of emulate you, I think, or jump on your bandwagon by throwing the angel in there. But I got to say, Joanna Angel is the OG angel.
I actually came down from heaven. Legitimately.
So what are some things you've been working on recently? Any fun projects?
I guess speaking of heaven,
yes.
Last year probably the biggest movie we did last year, and probably one of the biggest movies we've ever done. It was called Cindy, Queen of Hell.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's a movie about me having a random one-night stand with the devil while I was drunk at a party, and I didn't know it was actually the devil. And then, so we show that. So we show me having a one-night stand with the devil, and then 20 years later, like fast forward, I have to tell my daughter that her dad is the devil, and she doesn't know.
So
and
she had to bang the devil.
And she wants to try to get reunited with her dad, so she goes to hell to hang out with him.
Now, did you write this?
Yeah,
direct this?
Well, me and Xander Corvus, we did it together
love
because
you,
Xander
Joanna.
Corvus is the devil. So I couldn't make a movie about the devil without the devil himself.
You know, this is
because
why
it's like the devil.
I love your movies because
Yeah.
they're so. I mean, the sex is so good, and,
Yeah,
and
it
the
was really
acting's
fun.
good. But it's like they're so funny, but not fun. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
throw these nuances of humor in there, and you are not afraid to make fun of yourself. And you guys also really stick to the caricatures of things,
Yeah.
and the role play and the
Thank you.
fantasy.
Thank you so much. You actually know what you're.
Well, yeah,
you've
because
actually seen my movie.
yeah, girl, like you're great, and not too many people do that aspect. You
Right.
know, a lot of it's just the beauty of it. Oh, sex is so sensual. She creates these characters in these scenes, and it's like they're totally dedicated
Yes,
to it. And I
yes.
think that's just really impressive, and that's what sets Joanna and Burning Angel apart. Now, we've been talking to a lot of stars, and me and Mr. Skin were talking off air about, and even on air, I think, about tattoos
Yes.
in the industry. And how back in the day you couldn't have tattoos.
Yeah, if you had one tattoo, you couldn't be in a movie.
Yeah, it's so weird.
changed.
People are like, "You're a trailblazer. You really put something on the map," and I feel so stupid for being called a trailblazer. I'm like, seriously, all I did was say tattooed girls are hot, and to
Right.
me that was so obvious.
I agree.
That I feel guilty for taking credit as a trailblazer because that just seemed like, it just made sense.
Well, if you
Tattooed girls are hot.
if you watch a adult movie pre 19, I don't
So
know,
it was weird to me 'cause
95
I
maybe, you
existed-
never see tattoo. Well, I should maybe that's a little late.
in a world
but-
where every girl I thought was hot had tattoos.
right.
You know?
I don't know if you know this, but tomorrow I'm going to be a member of the same club that Joanna's is.
What?
Mile
what club?
High Club.
Well, no,
I'm
the
yeah.
AVN Hall of Fame.
Oh, are you going in the AVN Hall of Fame?
Tomorrow. I saw you were last year, right?
Last year, yeah. It's a polite
How has
way.
that changed your life, Joanna?
Yeah, I have an award on my shelf that says Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I was like really flattered and excited, but then I was also like, well, guys, it kind of like, what do I do next?
Yeah,
now?
what's
Like,
next?
I feel like that kind of is means you're supposed to retire.
It's
or
like the
something,
cherry
you know?
on the sundae almost.
I'm
like,
like,
what's
gee-
next?
yeah, you
Yeah.
make it seem like, well, I still have things to
Yeah,
do
I'm
here.
like, I'm not done. And like,
My body of work is not complete.
Yeah, I know, but it was really nice.
Well, you're an expert on alcohol and alcoholics. You're also an
Yeah, I
expert
guess so.
on the punk scene. You're an expert in adult movie. But I want to know, what is your favorite mainstream movie moment containing celebrity nudity? Anything ever stick out to you?
Do you remember seeing something maybe when you were younger that just
Yes.
blew your mind?
Yes, in Heathers.
Yes!
Oh my
When-
God.
Best movie ever!
Heathers.
When Christian
Winona
Slater
Ryder.
and Winona Ryder
Yeah,
were boning
yeah.
on the crochet thing.
That is so fun.
I don't think you saw any
How
actual
the
nudity in
no,
that
you
scene,
didn't. But the cleavage of Winona
Yeah.
Ryder was
I
ridiculous.
love that.
That's
And
a
the
great
part
rap,
where
dude.
like he
I
came
went-
into the room and she pretended to be dead.
Yeah.
God, I masturbated to that so many times.
There you
Fucking
go.
love
I'm
you.
a fucking. There's something wrong with
See,
me.
no,
Yeah.
that-
I was like, that's so romantic.
that's so funny. Think about it. A young Christian Slater
Yeah.
and Winona
Oh
Ryder.
God. That and I watched that.
suicide.
And then,
He had an
yeah.
edge when he was young. He had such an edge.
I
He was a
watched
bad boy in that
Heathers
movie.
so many
Me
times.
That's so
I
funny.
watched it like every single day.
That's
And that
great.
movie, like, I think every movie I make is kind of in some way or another a parody of Heathers.
But you're not a Heather, you're
Yeah.
a Veronica,
No, I'm a
right?
Veronica.
That's right,
Yeah.
baby doll. And is there any celebrity that you would like to see get naked? A mainstream celebrity?
Let's see.
Yeah, who do you find attractive in
Who
that?
do we want to see naked?
Whose titties or ass or dick do you want to just bust out of those
I
scenes?
know, like a lot of people get naked. I mean, God,
Or
that's
do you have a
tough
favorite nude celebrity?
question. I mean, I do. I think Katy Perry's really hot.
You know, that's one. She's out. She's never been naked, but I think that her breasts would be such a treat
Sensational.
to view.
I guess everybody always tells me I look like Sarah Silverman. Like
I
And she's done some
see
great
that.
nude
So,
scenes.
She's
yeah.
done
Yeah.
some great nude
Has
scenes.
she?
Well, you know,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was interesting. She's one of those. She started when she was in her 40s. She did a movie called Take This Waltz, where she was in a shower with two other actresses,
Sarah
and she was
Silverman?
Full frontal, full
frontal.
bush, huge natural boobs.
she put her
Really?
leg up on a little chair and it's like
In the shower.
scrubbing
I
in the
didn't
shower.
know that.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, and then the masturbation scene in the other movie with the teddy bear. What's that called?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love how in
It actually won an Anatomy Award for best
Anatomy Award.
for best sex with a teddy bear.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so no, you do. I see the resemblance.
Yeah, everybody always tells me that. So
I
guess
think if Katy Perry and Sarah Silverman had a naughty baby
it would
with
look like
tattoos,
me.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it'd
With
be
tattoos.
you.
that's not that. I'd have some cool parents.
And
Yeah.
if our listeners like that idea, that conception, go to burningangel.com and check out Joanna and check out all of her fantastic movies. It's been an honor chatting with you. We hope
Yeah,
to see
thank
you soon.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much,
Welcome
and
to the
congratulations
club.
on your success too. So
Oh,
thank
you. Thank you. Well, I'm not done.
Yeah, you
I
are
have
not
plenty
done.
more to do.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thanks,
Thanks.
guys. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Hey, everyone. It's Andrea and Skin, MrSkinPodcast.com. And just when you thought sex toys couldn't get any more cool,
We got the creme de la creme here.
we got the creme de la creme. Maurice, how are you, love?
Oh, very good. Thank you so much.
Now, what is in your hands? Tell it is.
Oh, you're talking to
big,
me or
it is
him?
black. No, and it is exciting me. What is that?
So we've created a new toy
Okay.
together with flashlights. What we've done is we've made all the outstanding flashlights that are out there. We made them interactive.
Interactive fleshlights. So fleshlights, in case you guys have been living under a rock, are male strokers. It's equivalent of it's as close to having sex with a woman as pretty much you can get without buying a real doll.
Exactly.
So you've made it interactive. How?
So we made it like an add-on where you can put the flashlight into.
Okay.
Right? So you slide it in. So any flashlight would fit into the device.
Oh, I see it now. So he has a
Ah.
fleshlight, and he's inserting it into a kind of black console. He's adding on to. Okay, the pussy's coming out of the bottom.
So you can access the pussy. The pussy is not screened out.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So any flashlight would fit in. Right?
Okay.
So so there's two modes. There is the manual mode. I mean, not manual mode. It's the automatic mode. And there's the connected mode, where you actually connect it to content. You can watch VR and feel in real time what's happening.
Wait. You're telling me that you can put that thing in and on, and it will sync to what you're watching?
On VR, yes.
As far as like...
As
this
real
is
as can get.
mind-blowing. So, like, let's say a girl's riding you in VR.
Yeah.
It's going to go at the same rhythm of her
Exactly.
bouncing up and down?
Yeah, exactly.
My God,
That's pretty bananas.
Andrew, we've
Well, you
seen
had
the
me at-
future. We have
yeah.
seen the future.
You had me at control a few
Yeah.
thousand, 10,000 men at once. I mean, who wouldn't want to be getting 10,000 guys off at once? You know what? What we've really learned at AVN this year is you and I are not afraid of anything or talking about private matters.
Oh my God.
Well, Maurice, thank you so much for enlightening us, because I really feel like I just evolved a level when it comes to my own masturbation skills and knowledge, especially for guys.
You're going to be
'cause
dangerous when you go home.
I'm going to be a danger.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny? I always bring stuff, new, fun toys home, and I honestly never end up using them.
This one you
This
will.
one, with those videos,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Maurice. Is there
Thank
a
you so
website
much.
people can go to?
You can go to the flashlight site.
Just go to Flashlight, look for the launch.
Yeah,
You'll find
that's
it.
there.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks so
beautiful.
much.
Super.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've talked to so many adult stars so far here at the AVN convention in Vegas, but I gotta say, Manuel Ferrara
This is the man.
is probably the only one that I would bang. Welcome to the
Wow.
show.
Thank you.
That's heavy praise.
You know what's great about this? Is I would bang with you in a heartbeat too.
Wait a second. We'll just I'm going to step out for a couple
Let's just
minutes.
pretend that we're not doing the Mr. Skin podcast.
Yes,
we're,
right.
We're just going to take this up to my room
Let's
and
just bring
roll
the
tape.
camera.
I don't blame
No,
you.
I will say this. I know so many female adult stars, and I've always asked them, who is your favorite male adult star to have sex with on camera? And they always say Manuel. They say he's so good, they really get off. They can tell he's really into them.
I think it's because he's French.
No, he's a
French
good
accent
lover.
helps.
He can make
Women love. My wife says to me, she goes, "If a guy has a French accent, I'll take my clothes off immediately."
I'm gonna tell you my secret, but
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know why they're all saying
Promise
this.
you won't tell anyone.
Okay. No one's listening.
Who's listening to this?
I'm really from Ohio, but I'm really good. I'm really good at doing the French accent just for the ladies.
You're from French Lick, Indiana.
Right? Is it working?
It's really working.
Good.
No, but when I talk to girls, it's been a long time since the girls I'm thinking about in my mind, but people like Sunny Lane, she and I were really
amazing.
good friends. I would say, why does Manuel fuck you so much better than the other male stars? And she said, because he makes me feel like a queen. He's truly like
'Cause he's
obsessed
French.
with every inch of my
They're
body.
They're professional
and
lovers.
Makes me feel uninhibited. But a lot of people, you get to set and it's just business, and you just want to get done and get over with. But they want to keep the shoot going when they're with him.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes we do.
that's what I'm saying. It's a real connection.
Wow.
So you have this
Thank
power.
you.
Were you born this way? Like just born a natural lover?
I think really that the reason why they feel like that is because I get off on watching them getting off. So I will
That's
do
hot.
anything to make them come because this is what's going to turn me on the most.
That's hot.
And it goes by. Also, I'm an older guy now. I'm an older performer. I'm 41. So I come from a generation where there was no Viagra or anything
Right.
to take
Right.
to perform. So you had to really do everything you like to be turned on and to be able to do this job. Now it's a little different, but this is how I learned to do this job, is by just being myself and doing what turns me on. And what turns me on the most is watching the women get off.
Well, you're a success because when porn stars say you're the one they most like to have sex with, that's quite a compliment.
The ultimate
I know.
compliment.
It's
I
like,
also pay them to say that. Like,
no, that's great. It's like if you're in the NBA and you say when the other players say who's the best player, that's the players out there saying, here are the porn stars saying he's the best lover in the business. That's high praise.
Do you have any idea
I'm blushing.
how many women you've actually had sex with?
So here's the thing. I started in the adult industry, like this is my 20th year.
Whoa.
I know it's very weird, especially when I work with girls that are 18 or 19. That's very trippy. But but of course, I had sex before I was in the adult industry. I
Right.
started at a very young age. So no, I have no idea at all.
I wish I
That's
could
the
say
best
that. I wish I
answer
could say that.
I've heard all day. Yeah.
I've
never
had
mind.
I've had my share, but I can't say he can't even get it down
You
to
can't
the
even
nearest
ballpark
50.
it.
Right. No
Okay,
ballparking.
let's
here.
over under 1,000.
Oh, over.
Over under 2,000.
Over.
Over
Oh,
under
shit.
5,000.
I would say, listen, I
Oh
Wow.
my fucking
Wow.
God.
listen, I
That's more than I have Facebook friends.
Again, I do this for 20 years now. I used to shoot 2 scenes a day every day.
You're a hard worker, man.
Well, hard is it's actually better to be
Yeah.
hard in my industry, but
Better to be hard than a worker.
To be filming 2 scenes a day for that long,
But do you
like,
see?
that's dedication.
Here's the way I see it. I always trip on the fact. I'm like, look at the women I had sex in my life with this face. I'm like, with this face, I fucked that girl. I'm like, whoa, with this face, like I have this girl that I wake up next to every morning. Like it's a trip.
This guy is really tapping all corners of the market. Not only has he, done so many scenes and done so much, but he's also done something really unique. He's been able to kind of cross over the adult fans with the gaming fans, who I
Yes.
think in a way might be the same
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
right this very second, you have one of the top 10 live streams
Yes.
happening right now. Can you talk to us what you have going on right now?
Yeah, live from the expo. I'm on Twitch and
Twitch?
Yes, I'm on Twitch, which is a gaming platform. It's really simple. It's like webcamming for gamers, so you can watch me play video games, so you see the gameplay, and there is a chat, so people can talk to you as you're playing. Right now, we're playing a little bit, but not as much because we keep getting guests,
Right.
like you guys do here.
Right.
We have like people coming to the show, and we ask them questions. And it's good because it give the fans a lot like what you're doing, a different look on porn people than just the fucking part.
So these people, the viewers at home, are watching you and other adult stars playing video games?
Playing video games. Like right now
Like
we're
in their
playing Mario
panties and
Kart.
stuff?
But it's really cool also because I'm sponsored by Polaroid. I'm sponsored by a company called Ruby VR. They do VR glasses, which are mainstream companies,
Right.
as opposed to being sponsored by any porn company.
Does the VR thing kind of trip you out as far as
Yeah.
where the future is going? Or are you excited about it?
There's no doubt. Maybe the only downside about VR porn would be like you watching porn and someone walks in the room while you're joking.
You don't know.
You can see that.
Right, you're like
You know,
with your headset on and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in your own world.
you just keep jerking off,
And your mom walks
and
in.
your mom walks in. Yeah, that's very
Well, if you don't know, then did it really happen? Right, right.
It probably did.
Do you know how many times I've almost been caught?
No, how many?
Wow.
And by mom or by wifey?
Well, no. The new one is as you get older, your kids. You got to watch
Oh,
that crap.
jeez.
Yeah, you have to
It's
be
a whole-
careful. Yeah.
It's like my whole life since I'm 13. I got to worry about being caught. I never had a window where it was free to jerk off.
I got caught by my wife last week, where I was actually jerking off to French amateur porn.
Oh.
And it's like nasty shit, right?
Yeah.
But like amatorial, because I can jerk off to regular porn because, you know,
You're
I know
desensitized
everyone.
a little bit,
I know
jaded.
everyone. I know who's real, who's not.
Right.
And so she comes in, I'm hiding him, and she's like, "Are you jerking off?"
Right. It's not like you're cheating on her, but at the
Exactly,
same time,
but she's like,
But, yeah.
she's not mad. She's like, "Are you jerking off?" I'm like, "No." She's like, show me what you-" And I'm like, "No, I don't want you to see what I'm jerking off to." And she's like, "Is it gay porn?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, what would you think?
Why are there 3 clowns on the screen?
Like, right? I'm like, why would you think I jerk off to gay porn? And she's like, "I don't know, you don't want to show me." So I'm assuming you're ashamed. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ashamed because there was that French fat old lady."
Ooh, Manuel. Well, I love that. I know that you are a big fan of Mr. Skin.
I am a big fan of Mr. Skin. He came to me, he's like, "Do you know Mr. Skin?" I'm like, "Who doesn't know Mr. Skin?" Like, first of all, anyone that's seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, but knocked up.
Knocked up.
Knocked
No,
up,
yes,
yeah.
Knocked Up. Sorry.
I know, I confused
Knocked
them
Up, yes. Anyone that's seen Knocked Up knows Mr. Skin.
That was a very nice mention. It's been good for business.
I'm
That
sure.
movie's like never stopped playing. It's always on television.
And it's such a good movie. It's
yeah,
so,
it is
it's
a good
so
movie.
fun.
Yeah, it is a funny movie.
You know? Yes, it was Knocked Up.
Yeah. Now I got to ask you this: celebrities, and you probably have French actresses you're interested in. I'm just wondering what celebrity you wonder if ever been naked, or someone you'd love to know if they've been naked.
Scarlett Johansson
Oh, yeah,
in
well-
a heartbeat.
She did a movie called Under the Skin where she played
I
an
know.
alien.
I've seen that
Yeah.
on Mr. Skin. I've seen it.
Yeah, well, I gotta,
Like-
get, I gotta get you a lifetime membership.
Oh,
'cause
thank you. I would
shouldn't be
love
paying,
that.
You shouldn't be paying your way.
I
'cause-
would love that.
yeah, but yeah, she went full frontal. It was pretty spectacular.
I know.
And her body,
Her boobs.
Banging.
I love her.
Her boobs.
Yeah,
So your favorite part of her body is her boobs?
Her boobs and her mouth.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, her lips.
I
and just
love the way
shape
she
of it.
talks too. The sound of her voice turned me on.
You know that we have about 28,000 actresses at our website that we've chronicled from all over the world, France,
Yeah.
Germany, wherever. She's the #1 most searched in
I'm sure.
2016.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so hot and she's in everything.
Yeah.
So,
And she's talented, which
so
makes
talented.
her more hot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. She can play anything.
And did we mention she has a great rack?
I don't know. Did we mention that? You know,
Boobs.
often overlooked is her butt. It's small, but it's perfect. It's like this little cute. You just want to grab it.
Yeah, hey.
I
Stick
know.
your face in the cheeks.
Sorry, I was born like this.
No, but it's wonderful, and the world needs people like you. We need good lovers in this world.
Thank you.
You know, and I appreciate the work you do, because a lot of times people kind of learn about sex by watching porn, and sex is often misrepresented.
Of course.
When there's guys like you that are paying attention to the
Thank
woman's
you.
wants and needs and really trying to get her off and getting turned on by women getting off, you're setting a good example for the younger
Thank you,
guys
thanks.
out there.
Except that all these guys think they're going to have a French accent to please their woman.
I know, right? Or that the chicks are going to be that hot, or that everyone's going to squirt. But
No.
it's amazing. I don't remember who it was, but I was talking to a starlet maybe 5 or 6 years ago that said he was her first female ejaculation. She didn't even know she could ejaculate. So I don't remember who it was, but you left a mark on them.
And she left a mark on the wall.
Right? Exactly.
Well, it was so nice
You guys are
talking
awesome.
to
Yeah.
you.
Great to meet you. Thank you so much
and
for
if-
doing
Same.
it.
if
Oh,
you're-
no, this is awesome.
If we all
I'm a
learned
fan,
anything.
so it's even better when you do this type of interview when you're a fan of something, and
Absolutely.
I love what you guys do. So
Wow.
Well,
that's
we
very
love
nice.
you,
Thank you.
and
it's
women
true,
love
like
French accents.
really, it's true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right, we'll talk again soon.
I hope so.
Have a good one. Well, the caliber of talent just keeps upping itself. Just when you think you can't talk to a bigger adult star, who sits down with me and Skin at the Mr. Skin podcast than Stormy Daniels herself?
What's going on?
I mean, you tell us, how is it being at these events year after year? I mean,
Intense.
it's intense, right?
How
Yeah.
does this year compare? I think it's pretty busy this year.
I think it's actually a little bit busier this
Yeah.
year than last year because
That's what I thought.
the year before and before that, it seemed like attendance was down a bit, but it looks like it's picked up.
I mean, you're kind of involved now in every facet of the industry, not just an actress. You do so much.
I'm a control freak.
Go, girl. Nothing wrong with that. What do you think has resurged the attendance of AVN?
I'm not really sure. I think that
What would you guess with your expertise and insight?
I should probably have like a really pro-adult answer to that, but I think just the crappy weather today made
Yeah.
people come in.
You know what? I
And-
think it's because
and there's
Mr. Skin is here.
Oh, yeah. And there's 4 other conventions in town, so guys have the perfect cover.
yeah.
I know. I always say that. It's such a great cover because it's going on with other conventions.
Concrete
going on.
World,
Yes,
the concrete
the shot
convention.
show,
like,
the guy.
really?
And they stand
How long
out-
does it take to go through the concrete
Wow,
convention?
and they all
Yeah.
come here, right?
Exactly.
They all buy passes and walk around, and they stand out like sore thumb. You can tell they gawk. They're wearing the wrong clothes, but
Yes.
yeah, it's funny to
Yeah.
see the guys from outside the industry walking around AVN. You see it;
Yeah.
it's pretty funny.
So what have you been up to the last couple of years? What have you been really passionate about and working on and focusing your beautiful energy on?
I've been focusing mostly on directing. And last year I directed the biggest movie that Wicked has ever produced.
Yeah.
It was a co-production actually with Wicked Pictures and Adam and Eve. And it was a movie called Wanted.
Oh, that's right.
And it was a huge Western set in 1879. Huge undertaking, and it's taken me like a year to recover. So I'm up for some awards tomorrow night, but not really anything too exciting because that movie almost killed me, literally.
Well, I want to tell you, Andrea, Stormy and I actually have something in common.
Let me guess. No, that's not.
By looking at us, you're not going to see it.
Okay.
So I got to explain.
I don't know what.
So on June 1st of 2007, a movie came out that was very important for my career. It's called Knocked Up.
That's right.
And in that movie, they featured predominantly MrSkin.com in the movie.
right.
But in that same movie, a certain Stormy Daniels did a
They
great...
prominently featured my boobs.
Yes. My website and your
my butt.
boobs were in that movie. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
That is epic.
So
Yeah.
we could say we made a movie together.
Exactly. When I was a kid, we all liked Animal House and Stripes. That was our go-to movies.
Okay.
But to maybe someone in their late 20s, early 30s, Knocked Up, Superbad, Pineapple Express. Those
I
are
was in
their
all of
movies.
those.
Yeah, right.
You were?
Yeah. She was.
Oh my
yeah.
God. You're like the go-to girl for these mainstream movies. That's got to be pretty awesome.
Well, it started because I auditioned
Cool.
for a part in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Uh-huh.
And I got it. And then, with that group of guys, once you're
just
in,
referred you.
Yeah, they just kept hiring me. They'd call me and say, hey, come to hang out. And, and one thing led to another. And actually, Knocked Up is where I met Paul Rudd.
Cool.
And then he went on to give me a job on Party Down because he was one of the producers of that.
Okay.
He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So it's,
Yeah.
once you're it's all about who you know. Mm-hmm. They say that, and it's true.
And you also have to be hot, too, though. Don't sell
I'm
yourself short.
I'm sure Thunder and Lightning has something to do with it.
Which one's Thunder? Which one's
This
Lightning?
one's Thunder, and this one's Lightning.
Wow.
So which one's your favorite? Oh,
I like
There's
Thunder.
a big front moving in.
yes,
Yeah.
a warm front going on. So Thunder is your right breast, and
Yes.
you can amazingly twerk your
Although-
titties, which is incredible.
I'm more of a fan of Thunder. She, it's a little more. We always have a favorite,
Oh,
a good side.
I love my left
but
Yeah.
but Lightning is the famous one. That's the one that Seth Rogen's face
Yes.
was on in the DVD extra
Yes.
of Knocked Up. I'm sorry, of 40-Year-Old Virgin. Right? Yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin. And that was like kind of his big breakthrough mainstream
Yes.
movie. And they wanted to play a prank on him. And I remember they really wanted me to do this gag, but they were all too scared to ask me. So the producer, Shauna Robertson, I guess she drew the short straw, and she had to ask me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever!" Yes, and we punked him.
What was the punk?
That he was supposed to I went to his trailer because I wanted to talk to him, and I get super, super creepy with him, and I start coming on to him.
Nice.
And he thinks I'm serious because he doesn't know there's hidden cameras. And I start going on and on about how I auditioned for the movie just because I heard he was going to be in it. And anyway, the whole the finale of this, and he's squirming, is I take my top off and they made me a fake temporary tattoo of his face. And it's on my boob, and he is, and then I just pounce on. I mean, he's so uncomfortable, and then they all come in and we're like, "Haha, we got you."
It is the funniest shit I've heard. I'm laughing so hard I feel like I'm high.
Somewhere out there that video exists.
It's a DVD extra
Yeah.
on 4-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah,
Okay.
She's got inside stories.
I like it. I like talking Hollywood.
So how many mainstream movies have you been in?
Oh my gosh, let's see. 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Girl Next Door, Finding Bliss.
You were in Girl Next Door too.
Pineapple Express, Superbad, and I Love You, Man.
Wow.
All with a lot of those Paul Rudd movies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so special. Like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's who you know.
It's who you know, not who you blow. You know,
Well,
people always say to me like, "Oh, whose dick did you suck to get this job?" I'm like, I didn't suck anyone's dick.
I'm a porn star failure because I didn't either.
I know. And I'm like, no one had presented me their dick to suck to get ahead.
Me either.
I'm like, I might have done it, but no one threw it out there. So there's this big misconception that you have to sleep your way to the top, but it's just not true. And Stormy Daniels is a testament to that. So are you aware of what you're nominated for this weekend, or is it just too much to list?
I don't know all of them. But here's where people...
don't be in the bathroom when you win, right? You got to be out there.
Here's the funny thing that people, I've been asked this question 20 times a day for the last 3 days.
I have no idea.
And the one that I do know and that I want, my answer throws people off. Like, they just don't even know what to say. They're like, "Oh, so what are you nominated for?" And they think I'm going to say, or they say, "What award do you really want to bring home this year?" And they think I'm going to say, "Oh, best scene or best actress." I'm like, "Best screenplay." They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm nominated twice for best screenplay and for director of the year." So they're like,
"Oh, I hope it's director
and I was
of the
like,
year, at least."
Yeah, like there's thousands of girls here that are nominated for sucking dick.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited about the screenplay award.
So just before we let you go, it's Mr. Skin. It's the Mr. Skin podcast. And as you know, Mr. Skin just knows anything and everything about celebrity nudity. Do you have a standout celebrity nude scene?
Something you love from just watching movies and things?
Or you grew up and really stood out to you?
Let's see. Okay, I think the one that I saw first that has the most impact is in when Phoebe Cates comes out of the pool.
Oh,
but at Ridgemont High.
Yeah,
preaching to the choir. That is my favorite nude scene of all time.
Really,
yeah.
I didn't know that. But it's also a tie for different reasons. For one of the takes that we did, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh yeah,
when Jason Segel walks in the room and he's completely naked.
That was such an awkward nude scene, but it's a very memorable
I wasn't
scene.
prepared for it.
Oh really?
No.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, because he was showing
the whole
a lot,
enchilada.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. And look at all the memorable movies you've been in. I mean, you've been in some of the big comedies of the last 15 years.
I mean, it's so much fun, and a lot of them I got to work with the guys before they were like super famous.
Right.
They had me call. They called me one day when they were starting to film Pineapple Express, and they said, "Hey, we're not filming today, but we need to get some photos of you for props of you and the guy together to frame to put in his apartment. So can you meet us at the park, and we're gonna do like eating ice cream together and him giving you like cheesy photos, and of you and him making out and all this stuff." And I was like, "I have to make out with somebody? Is he cute?" And they're like, "Well, just it's a guy, it's an actor that nobody really knows yet, but whatever." I played Danny McBride's wife,
nice.
So I made out with Danny McBride before he was famous.
You had him first.
I had him first.
I love it, Stormy Daniels, everyone. It is so nice talking to you, and we wish you the best of ongoing success.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, MrSkinPodcast.com. Everyone,
yes.
It's Andrea and Skin, and we are with Lloyd Kaufman. It is
Trauma.
honor.
My idol.
Oh, I love Lloyd Kaufman.
It's not often that Skin says, "Oh, my idol," but he means that.
Well, you know, Mr. Skin and I were in a hotel room together in Chicago.
And I was in a bed.
Wait.
He's the best at everything, Mr. Skin. But while we're here, Sergeant Kabuki Man and I would like to present you with this amazing, original cell from, don't be jealous, Kabuki Man, Toxic Crusaders.
Wow.
The TV show, and
wow.
It's an original cell, 1989.
Oh, my God.
And this is for Mr. Skin.
This is
Mr. Skin.
Lloyd, thank you so much.
Well,
that
you're
is wonderful.
You're a giant hero in Tromaville. And Andrea, we have for you this amazing white piece of paper. Oh, no. It's on the other side. We are too poor to print on both sides. But this is the first version of Troma's latest film, Return to Nukem High.
I love that.
Volume 2.
Would you mind autographing these for us?
I would be delighted.
Perfect.
And,
I'm so excited. I have a Sharpie. We can do it after. I want to hear more about you two in a hotel room. We tapped on it, but we didn't get into it. What the hell were you two doing in bed in a hotel room?
He asked me to do a DVD extra feature for one of his movies, and we filmed it in a hotel room in Chicago. But I was on a bed. I can't even remember why.
We're at AVN. When you say I was in a bed with Lloyd doing a DVD extra, it sounds like you were doing a solo masturbation scene. So what the hell were you doing, Mr. Skin?
I did not take my clothes off.
Well, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your show, and thanks so much for talking to us.
This is great.
Well, come visit us in New York, the Troma building. We have tours all the time.
Well, I've been there a couple times, but I want to go to the new one. I haven't seen the new one. I was there at when it was the
heyday
in Trump Towers. Yeah.
We're now in Barney's basement. But come anyway, it's still a Troma building. It's different. It's actually more. It's more of a Warholian world.
All right, I definitely.
It is Tromaville. Before it was Times Square Hell's Kitchen. Now this is Tromaville.
I'm going to be out there next month, and I will stop by.
Sounds like a field trip.
Yeah. I'm in. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
And hopefully Bad Dragon has a Kabuki Man dildo coming out. It's going to kind of get hard to get in there, but once you get past it,
again.
root around there.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Andrea and Skin here at the Mr. Skin podcast, and we are with another adult legend,
Legends
Mr.
all about.
Marcus. It is such a pleasure to talk to you again. We haven't talked in quite a few years, and it's really nice. And why is it everyone that I'm seeing does not age?
Right.
How is no one aging? What is the secret in the adult world? Is there a certain lotion y'all are using? Is it lots of fucking? What the hell is it?
I think the sex
It's the
has
sex.
an effect.
I'm telling you, everyone we're talking to, it has not aged a damn year.
And they say laughter.
Yeah.
Laugh your
Gotta have
ass off.
fun.
Right.
So I'm really excited about having Mr. Marcus here because he can kind of metaphorically or figuratively rather pass you the baton because he's been inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame and Mr. Skin here is being inducted this weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well,
brother.
thank you. Congratulations to you. You've had an amazing career. Yeah, when I was a kid, my dream was to play center field for the Chicago White Sox and get into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Right.
But, the AVN Hall of Fame. It's not so bad, right?
It's even better.
It's a Hall of
better.
Fame. I want to know how you went from being just an average person to in the movies. Like, did someone ask you randomly? Was there an ad in a paper you saw?
It was so weird. Everything kind of happened at the same time.
Cool.
It just Heather Lee, me and Heather Lee, if you look her up, she met me. We started like hanging out, having sex, and she said you should do movies, and I was like, good. So I want to do movies.
Yeah.
So she basically was saying you're good enough to be a porn star
said
from
that.
a porn star.
That's the ultimate compliment.
When a porn star says you should get in the movies, that's good.
That's there's no better compliment than that.
Yeah, that was nice. I didn't even know what the hell it was. All I knew was I wanted to do more of what we were already doing. That's my mentor over there.
Oh, I know. He's a legend in the wings.
So I came up with all the old school cats.
Yeah.
I'm a new school, old school type of dude.
Yeah, you look young, but you've been around.
I've been around. I've seen the things.
And by the way, let me interject here.
Yes, please
the
introduce.
her is Kelly Holland, the CEO of Penthouse, who I've been dying to meet.
And owner,
right? Owner and CEO of
Woo,
Penthouse.
get it right.
Boss.
So you discovered him, and then the rest just happened. What was your first movie or your first scene? Do you remember, or was it a photo shoot? What was your first work?
Well, that jack off video was like that's a lot of fans asked for that.
Yeah.
I can't find it
Because it's so early in your career, or there was something.
Probably.
Yeah.
And that was the only did.
And I think that there were a lot of guys in the business that were uncomfortable. I mean, look, think about it from an actor's perspective. If you're a guy, so we know men have to bring it, right?
Right.
Which is why I always say many are called and few are chosen. It's one thing for a woman to come in the business because she can essentially look like she's involved in the scene, where actually what she's thinking about is the next pair of shoes she's going to buy, right? But a guy actually has to bring it, and that is a very special man that can do that. And it's easier when you're walking in and you're with a girl, because you can focus on the woman that you're with. You don't have to pay attention to the lighting and the sound and the awkward situation you're in. But when you come in and do a solo, it's just you and the camera and the people that are there. And it's incredibly difficult.
You wouldn't mind if I used you as a
what?
Ooh, wait, what are you saying here?
Are you joking?
You inspired me.
Oh my God, I don't know if I should be offended or flattered now. But
you're a legend. You're a legend. What's next for you?
Well, I acquired Penthouse 11 months ago, so it's a lot of build. And I have this wonderful luxury of owning a magazine, so I won't get into the weeds of all the stuff that we've done that's political, but there were a lot of reasons why I bought the company. I had worked for it for 8 years. I love the brand. It's an iconic brand. It was incredibly underdeveloped, underexploited, and it had a lot of opportunities to every turn. After the acquisition, there was a lot going on, but I think it was one night I was in my office, and it was about 9 o'clock at night, and I was 30 days in. I think I intellectually realized something, but I didn't organically realize it. And I was sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden it hit me like a flash, and I went, oh my God, I have a magazine, and there's nobody that can tell me what to do. I can do anything.
Yeah, you own it.
And I'd worked there for 8 or 9 years, and I had been subject to CEOs and owners who had taken politics out of the magazine, who never did anything controversial, who never stepped out because they didn't want to offend anybody. Well, when you don't want to offend anybody, you really don't serve anyone either.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure I know the answer, but for all our 10 million visitors a month that come to MrSkin.com, this is a very important question. You have no plans to go the Playboy route with Penthouse. Please say you don't.
No! As a matter of fact, we've had such a good time with the bunny. We just did a trade show in Europe, and we had a T-shirt we were passing out to all of our licensees, and it had a rabbit with a target on it, and it said, "We're going rabbit hunting."
Good.
Because that's a famous old Bob Guccione ad.
Yeah. Well, let me say, Kelly Holland, owner and CEO of Penthouse, I couldn't be pulling for you more. I'm so excited.
Cool.
This is, to me, as a fan of the magazine and just the adult industry in general, I'm really, truly pulling for you. Poor Mr. Marcus sat down for a 5-minute interview. He's been here 45 minutes. Thank you.
I'm a student. I'm a student.
Oh, no,
you
were such a trooper. I was thinking to myself, oh, my God, I hope he's not feeling like
No,
I gotta leave.
I love Penthouse. They're way ahead of the curve. They
are.
They're shooting 3D and virtual, and they take she's a cinematographer. You know what I mean? She's great with the camera. She knows what she wants to see, and she encourages that.
She's a visionary.
She's a visionary, obviously. Yeah. And then that's, and I want to see what she sees.
Well, like I said, we both thank both you guys for stopping by, and
no doubt. I support.
We're big fans. We're big fans. So
we're here with one great diva on the Mr. Skin podcast. It is such an honor to have you here, girl. You have single-handedly taken over the webcam biz. You know that, right?
She is a webcam star.
I mean, I'm still humble,
You're humble, but you're aware that you're killing it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is our
pleasure. Are you you're nominated for your webcam? You got 2 nominations?
Yeah,
okay.
I got 2 nominations.
For Best Solo Girl website?
Yes, Best Solo Girl website, and also Favorite Cam Girl of the Year.
Well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
That's great.
That is excellent. So when you go by One Great Diva, that's on all webcamming platforms?
Yeah, definitely. And my domain is onegreatdiva.com, onegreatdiva.net. The same is for Twitter, everything.
I love it. How did you come up with that name?
Oh, no. It was like 10 years ago when I first started. I was not paying too much time to find a screen name, and it literally took me 5 seconds to come up with it. And to be honest, I don't really like it. But now it's too late to change it because
you have too big a following.
It's a brand,
and it's you. People love it. And why change it now? Now, Mr. Skin, how long did it take you to come up with Mr. Skin?
Literally, it took 2 minutes. Someone suggested Mr. Naked, and I said no.
Yeah.
And the next one was Mr. Skin. I said, let's do it. It
Cool.
literally was 2 minutes.
Cool. So both of your names were not a whole lot of thought went into them, but you like yours.
Nothing
and
in my
she's-
life has been a whole lot of thought, just so you know.
Yeah, but yours is like better, 2 minutes is better than 5 seconds.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at the success. That's
Look
great.
at the success. You know what I love about you is the foot fetish stuff.
Yeah.
Girl, how did you
Yeah.
get into that? Is it something you love, or was there a demand from the fans?
No, actually, I started at everyone else in the girls section, but I was like refusing to get naked, and I was bitching people around. They were like, "Show me boobs, show me this, show me that." I was like, "No, no, no," and they were rude to me. They were like, "That's why you're here." And I was like,
What do you
no.
mean here? Like, where?
Yeah, well, some campsites have this rule that you need to show nudity if a
Right.
guy asks, because he's the customer.
Right, okay.
But
You didn't
there
want
was,
to.
yeah, I didn't want to. But there was this guy who was like, "You're such a bitch. You should be in a fetish section because you would kill it." But I was clueless. I had no idea about
Right.
that. I was 19 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what is fetish? And I started to work, to do some research, to read, and I was learning. And I was like, okay, this is it. That's for me.
And so you picked foot fetish. Is it because you love shoes? You like your feet?
It's because
Although you have beautiful feet, I must say. She has really cute feet.
It's because I like shoes.
I noticed on your Instagram, she loves shoes.
Yeah. And so my guys are like paying for my designer shoes, and I'm like, okay, let's do it then.
So how explicit do you now go? Do you now show stuff? Or
No,
do you
no,
keep it
I
just
don't.
fetish?
I don't.
Go
Just-
ahead with
yeah.
your bad self.
Yeah,
That's great.
So I didn't do any nudity like in 10 years. It would be silly to do it now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm getting old.
So would you consider yourself a foot fetish expert?
Yeah, why not?
Mr. Skin, would it be brazen of me to ask you to show her your foot and we
Oh,
can
my
see if
God.
you have what it takes to be a foot fetish model?
Do you have to see the actual foot? I haven't had a pedicure
can just-
in a month. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably wouldn't go over well.
No, but in truth, the male market in foot fetish is not big, right? Guys want
No,
to see
it's-
female feet.
Yeah, it's a niche, and I've always felt like I'm losing customers because I'm not, that pretty sweet girl,
Oh, come
who's-
on.
So I'm that mean, selfish, bratty thing.
But that's your character.
Yeah,
That's
it
your
is.
character
But-
because she's sweet.
Oh my
yeah,
God. And beautiful, very beautiful.
I'm really sweet in my real life.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I get that bitch attitude, I forget to leave it on cam.
Yep.
And I'm starting to bitch my friends, but and they're like, "Hey, listen, we're not your foot slaves, so
Yes.
chill."
I love her foot slaves.
Oh, God, foot slave.
Yeah.
She's got the power.
I love
bag.
foot slaves.
I
What
do
would you
too.
wear? What do you wear when you're showing your feet? What kind of outfits would you wear?
Well, I'm just, like evening dresses.
Okay.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're not in a gray sweatshirt and gray sweats.
No.
No, she has to command presence.
No,
Skin.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely.
I am definitely checking this out, Andrew.
I know. I'm
Tonight.
like, I want to go on it now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm loving it. Classic beauty. I love the accent. Would you have placed it? Was Romanian? Skin?
Oh no, I knew.
You
going
knew?
in.
He's like, I knew.
Yeah, I knew. Big fan. Big fan. But I now have a foot fetish.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I didn't at the beginning of the interview. Now I do.
Yeah. How,
Okay.
Skin is your newest foot slave. How many foot slaves do you have total? Do you know?
Well, no, because as every camp customer, they come and go. But I do have members who visit me for like 8 years now.
Wow.
So,
she's
yeah.
got that retain value.
Yeah.
Well, that is
I do have a
absolutely
few
fantastic.
very, very loyal members.
And
Yeah.
then what categories are you nominated in for the awards?
It's favorite cam girl and best solo girl website.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing if she gets announced. I have a
Yeah.
good feeling.
I have a good feeling too.
I hope
I'm
so.
not
Yeah.
in your pants, Skin. I'm saying I have a good feeling in my heart.
I thought you were talking about that. No, I do. Good luck. And,
Thank you so
that would be
much.
great if you won. We'd be so
Thank
Yeah,
excited.
you.
best of luck and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
And we are with another legend here at AVN.
Yes, I'm
Hey,
excited.
And I know
I usually don't get excited about the guys, but this time I am.
This is interesting. You guys are from the same hometown, yeah?
Yes, you're a Chicago guy
Yes.
and a Cub fan.
And a Cub fan.
So where in the suburbs did you grow up?
I grew up in Evergreen Park. Which
Okay,
is
you're a South Side guy.
surrounded by, and for some reason my father was a Cub fan, even though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm a huge White Sox fan, and I'm like, I expect all South Side guys to be White Sox fans.
Well, my life would have been a lot easier if I'd have been a White Sox fan, but no.
Well, you had a good year this year.
We did have a good year this year, but the weird thing was that, for a week, I felt really good. I felt like, oh, my God, the world has completely changed.
Yeah.
I'm not a lovable loser anymore, or my team isn't. And then Trump won the election.
Yeah.
Everything just fell apart after that.
Yeah.
So this is John Stagliano, and you're world famous as Buttman. And you, is it created Gonzo porn? Like, are you the guy who made it like a thing?
You are generally
It
known.
is true that I did something different, and it became imitated by a lot of people in
To this day,
1989,
yes. Could you explain to people listening what exactly Gonzo porn means?
Well, Gonzo has come to mean a lot of different things, but strictly speaking, what it's supposed to mean is the same thing what Gonzo writing was when it was used to describe Hunter Thompson, which is injecting himself and his opinions into a story, like about Las Vegas, or interviewing somebody and then talking about his reactions. Me as the cameraman, I'm like the writer in a story, appreciating a girl, talking to her, giving my opinion of the girl, saying what I like, and it's like I'm part of the scene as the cameraman. That is what Gonzo is.
But when he did it, this was about
it's
late.
Come to
This
mean
was
something wacky.
This is like in the late '80s when that started, correct?
89, yeah.
Yeah. So then, if you look now and watch porn, everyone does what he started.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
they've
stuff.
imitated it
Variations on
and
it.
taken almost like a
Variations on it.
parody or a satirical kind of take on what you were trying to do, which is what you were saying, kind of like the Hunter S. Thompson thing. So it's interesting how it's kind of morphed and changed and completely come something that its original intention wasn't.
The really great thing about Gonzo was that the girls could look right into the camera and be sexy. There was no porn that was doing that in the 80s. We were all imitating movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
It was linear storytelling, and part of that was due to the obscenity laws because a story was more easily defendable than just loops, as we called them back then, or just sex scenes.
Okay.
And so people did like features, but the first couple of Buttman movies were features, and I just happened to be in it as the cameraman with 30-page scripts and stuff like that. And then as it evolved, I started making vignettes of just the best scene possible.
Cool. Well, you followed your passion.
Yeah, and you've been a huge success in the business, and I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by. And it's an honor as a fan I am of your work and your career. It's really cool to get to sit down and talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Evil Angel, guys.
Right.
EvilAngel.com.
Yep.
All right. Buttman Anal Savant is my most recent
Oh,
release.
he dropped it.
Anal Savant.
Okay.
You know what?
I've got to drop. Come on. What am I here for?
I love it.
No, to drop away.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much.
John.
Thanks, John.
Hey everyone, it's Andrea and Skin here at the Mr. Skin Podcast, MrSkinPodcast.com, and we are here with one of my favorite people on the planet. Skin,
legend.
Have you met Buck Angel before in person?
We've never met, but I know all about your career. And
Right
I'm,
on.
Yeah,
Thank
big
you.
fan.
Big
Oh,
fan.
Thank you.
Really, really cool what you've accomplished and what you've been through. And you know what?
And just who you are.
I know about Buck Angel. You know about Buck Angel.
love
Could you
Buck Angel.
explain to the Mr. Skin
Yeah,
podcast.
In case people don't know
Podcast.
They
anything
don't know
about
who
Buck
I am.
Angel.
They probably don't know who I am, but that's all right. That's not everybody does, but now they will. Because you guys are so awesome to have me on the show.
We love
First
you.
off, I appreciate that.
Our pleasure.
Because that's how we amplify and change, is by
Yes.
giving everybody voices. So let me just tell the guys out there and the girls out there, I'm a transsexual man, meaning I was born a woman
Yep.
and I became a man. But what is best special about me and why I'm so known in the world is because I kept my vagina.
Yes.
And so I'm known as the man with the pussy or the man with the vagina. Well, actually, in porn, I was the man with the pussy, but now that I'm mainstream, it's all the man with the vagina.
And I love that. Now, you have to tell me where this is. There's some place that I've been several times where there's a huge gold statue of you.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't, is it Dre's?
We
Where
were
is
talking
it?
about
Yeah.
where the hell did we
Where-
see it?
Because I'm always
yes.
intoxicated when I see it. So I'm
Are
like,
you always
where-
grabbing my vagina?
I have stroked your clit quite a few times because you know what? I love it. Like I think you and me
Right
would have
on.
such a fun time in bed. 'Cause
Oh.
I love pussy and I love
You guys
men.
heard it
I'm
here.
like,
This is the perfect.
No going back.
like It's so funny because I don't identify as bisexual, but I love eating pussy. But I can romantically fall in love with a man. So I'm like, me and you, Buck. I'm like,
it's on.
It could happen. So where is it that statue? Is it Dre's?
So what happened was a very famous sculpturist made the sculpture of me. His name is Mark Quinn.
Okay.
And it's an actual real art piece.
Yes.
That traveled the world, and it actually got bought by the Adelaide Museum in Australia,
Okay.
an art museum. So it's a permanent piece there. But the one you saw here was from a nightclub that opened called The Box. And the Box is in New York City and in London. But what happened was The Box can't be in Vegas, because Vegas isn't Vegas anymore.
Right.
You can't do the dirty, nasty things you used to be able to do.
Yeah, they changed it to The Act.
Exactly.
Right.
So the act didn't do well because it's not
It wasn't dirty
enough.
enough.
Right.
So my sculpture was in the front. Somebody stole it.
No!
Somebody stole it.
And it wasn't me? Fuck that. That is
Somebody stole it.
That should be in your living room.
I mean, that should be in my bedroom in front of my mirror.
I keep scouring Craigslist to see it up there.
So why did you decide to never do surgery? Did you just not want to mess with it, or did you not? What was kind of your process?
No, it didn't exist on the level I wanted. I'm a perfectionist.
Me
And I
too.
wanted to have a man's penis.
Right.
I've always wondered about that because
Yes.
you say, "Oh, let's go all the way," but then all the way isn't.
What's all the way? Okay,
Yeah.
let's just
Well,
be that. Let's be fair.
Being like a man and be able to use it like I could use it, and
Yes.
it's, if you can't do
And
that,
aesthetically speaking,
All of it. So
Yeah.
let's be fair, though. There are trans men out there who have
Absolutely.
had this surgery.
Yeah,
and it's
totally.
important for them, and that's okay. But this is my story.
Yep.
I always need to make this disclaimer
I agree
because
with
there'll
you.
be trans
Yeah.
people out there who think I'm representing. I'm not representing. I'm representing me,
Exactly.
a man with a vagina.
Yep.
I love it. There are many men who have that surgery. They're happy with it. For me, I was going to lose functionality. I was going to lose orgasm.
No.
I was taking a risk. Is it going to work? Many men have had it happen, and they've had gangrene and had it cut off. It's a $70,000 surgery. They cut. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
So
and
you're like, it's not worth it to
and
me.
I'm like fucking myself thinking, and why would I do that?
yeah, you have a well-working clit. You got all your nerve endings. It's
like
working for you.
And nobody, look, I fought to get where I am here today. You know that.
Yes.
5 years ago, you would not have been talking to me. That's just the reality of it when you are a pioneer. And that's just how it is. And I'm okay. I take that on.
Yeah.
But to be sitting here today means you have acknowledged my work on a level that says, Buck, you are making change, and that's why I appreciate you, and why I don't mind screaming at the top of my lungs. I don't mind being punched in the face because I will punch back.
I love it.
And that's how I got here.
and one thing too, Buck was born a woman, but as I look across the table, Buck could kick my ass.
Yeah.
I'm a lover. I'm a lover.
Look at those arms, man.
This
Look at
is
those arms.
honestly like the smallest I've ever seen you,
Yes,
too.
I used to be jacked.
She's like, you want to get out the fucking way.
I saw some pictures.
I
I'm
used
like,
to be
holy
jacked,
shit.
but you know what? That got
Sweetheart.
old.
I know, it's so hard to maintain.
It's hard. I'm like, and I'm feeling like this. Like, actually, I don't need to prove my masculinity this way. I'm
Right.
masculine enough. Like,
And I'm sure you're enjoying just the mobility of not being so jacked
I'm
all
all
the
into
time.
yoga now.
So we got Zen Buck.
Totally.
So he's not going to kick your ass. He's
No,
gonna
I tell you, I'm a
namaste
lover.
with you. Yes. And let's talk about your cannabis stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, thank you for saying that. I'm a sober, 30 years, no alcohol, no drugs. I use cannabis. I'm a huge activist and an advocate for cannabis because it is a natural product.
Yep.
It has never made me want to use coke again or smoke crack or anything like that.
Right.
It has relieved my anxiety, my sleeplessness. It has helped me become a better person. In my community, the LGBTQ community, we have a huge amount of anxiety, depression, PTSD, triggers, blah, blah, blah. They prescribe narcotics. I'm anti-narcotics. They do nothing but mask the problem. So I'm bringing cannabis to my community with my new website called pridecannabis.com, which will, percentage of the proceeds go to the Los Angeles LGBTQ Center Senior Center. So I'm giving back to my community by creating a way that we can all get high and feel amazing.
That is beautiful.
Andrew, you're on board.
I'm not on. I'm
you
like
are on board.
I feel like spiritually aligned. I'm like, I want you in my life.
I am in your life.
You are. He's just such an amazing person. And when you think of just the desire to help others, we can help us all we want. But he's like, I want to spread what I've learned, spread my experience,
And his legs.
And
Yes.
And really,
my
really,
vagina.
and your pussy.
But you guys do it too.
spread
I just
awareness.
need to let you know, you do it too. When you bring people like me on, and you're very open about it, and you're no judgmental at all, that is creating change. So I need to give you guys props for the fact that you're speaking to me right now, because somebody here listening, I guarantee you, is transsexual, gay, bi, feeling not part of the community, and now heard me through your website and said, oh my God, I'm normal. So you guys get props back, because you guys are also doing the same thing, and that's how we make change.
Well, look at us all doing the Lord's
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Well, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. I know you're super jam-packed busy, but Buck Angel everywhere on social media and buckangel.com. We'll see you soon, love.
Right on. Love you guys.
This is the Mr. Skin Podcast, MrSkinPodcast.com. I'm Andrea, joined with Mr. Skin as always, and we are sitting right now with probably the hottest, most popular guy in the adult world currently.
Ron Jeremy.
James Dean. Yeah, we've talked to Ron, but you're a lot hotter.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
That was a high bar.
You are also better looking than Ron Jeremy?
Thank you. And, so is Mr. Skin.
Well, the bar is not very high, but we love Ron.
Yes.
Love Ron.
And we love you. So you got a lot going on, man. You've really, in the last couple of years, just blown up. I mean, I feel like you're almost a household name in a way.
It's weird. Because,
right?
Yeah, because so I'm from Los Angeles, and I've never really, left... I've left my hometown in the sense that I've traveled, but my day-to-day job and life, nothing's really changed much in my life.
Yep.
So when I go places and people know who I am, it's very bizarre, because I'm just going and hanging out with my friends from Pasadena from when I was a kid.
Right.
And now people are talking to me, and I'm very confused. Why do you know who I am?
Well, one thing, I've always had a beef with James because he was in the mainstream movie The Canyon.
Okay.
I was in The Canyon.
Yeah, he was in The Canyon.
That's my big
cool.
line.
Well,
I was in The Canyon.
Well, and here's a movie where Lindsay Lohan, who I think is a beautiful, beautiful girl with amazing
fantastic natural
breasts.
boobs.
We've talked about her breasts
I
many
love
times.
her titties.
So here's going to be a nude scene where she's naked. We're going to get a great view of her breasts.
Yep.
And as I'm gearing up for this scene, this guy walks up with his dick swinging. And it's like, I don't know if I need to see cock where I'm ready for a Lindsay Lohan topless scene. And that's always been a beef I've had with that scene, because as you got to watch the whole bit. We have the bit at our site.
Absolutely.
And I watch it often, but every time I got to see him walking naked right in front of Lindsay Lohan.
That's some of the beauty of Paul Schrader's directing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He started that movie off, and he had everybody looking POV into the camera around a dinner table, and he said he intentionally started the movie off that way because he wanted to let people know that this is not it's going to be weird. We're getting into something that's going to be different.
Yep.
And he did a lot of stuff like that where right when you're oh, this is that moment, he's like, no, this is not a sexual moment. This is about plot. And he actually had a really good saying that I really loved, which I can't remember verbatim, but it was that the human brain operates in a certain way where you basically have paths, and at a certain point you need to make the choice of going down the path of eroticism and masturbation or the path of plot and film.
Ooh.
And so
heavy stuff, man. When
I
you're in the
love that,
mainstream
though.
cinema.
That's true, though.
And I was thinking about it, and when I was a kid,
poignant.
so when I was a kid, I would walk to the library, and I couldn't buy porn, but I could rent movies from the library.
Yeah.
So I would rent striptease. I would rent striptease and Boogie Nights and stuff like that. And I remember Boogie Nights. I'd never seen that movie until I was 18, 19 years old, because I watched the movie start to finish millions of times, but I watched it because I wanted to see Heather Graham's boobs.
You were fast-forwarding to the good
Roller
parts.
Doll. And or not Roller Doll, Roller
Girl.
Yeah.
I read something today. I didn't know this. I love that scene, but the very first day they started shooting for Boogie Nights, they did the Roller Girl scene.
To get it over with, or
it was just
on the shooting schedule that way?
Yeah, it was just shot the very first scene.
It's a great scene
of that movie.
It might be one of my favorite nude scenes.
How hot is that?
Yes, yeah. Just the way that she lifts the
and
dress
she
up and is oh, you want to fuck? And
just so casual about it.
That and Jackie Brown, where she's sitting there with Robert De Niro and they're just talking all the time.
Don't get
just out of nowhere.
Fonda.
I shot
Robert De Niro bangs Bridget Fonda.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's very hot.
And I shot a movie for JamesDean.com where essentially the girl's sitting there playing solitaire and I'm talking to her and then she just looks up and is like, want to fuck? And then it just smashes cut to me.
That's
just
a
banging
Jackie
away.
Brown moment.
And I was just I love that scene. So, but I remember watching these scenes as a kid and being completely out of the plot, masturbating and just being this is my porn.
Yes.
And then as an adult, I would watch those movies and be like, "Oh, these are amazing films."
Movies.
But I never watched as that. And I think
you just fast forward to the nude scenes, which is my whole
Which is the whole
shtick,
purpose of
And
Mr. Skin.
And I think Paul Schrader is really correct when it comes to that. Is that your brain has a divide and
Totally
you go down
two
different
pathways,
paths.
yeah.
And he did stuff like that in the Canyons to make sure people knew. Look, yeah, you might see Lindsay Lohan's boobs, but this is a movie, and this scene, there's things in there that are plot intensive, and I want you to pay attention to the plot, not just get distracted by the sex.
Wow.
So he's a smart guy. He's crazy smart. There were times doing that movie where I would do things and I thought I came up with a good idea, and then I would think about it. I'm like, Paul Schrader just made me do that. I didn't even realize that he got me to do that. He's really good, and he's smart dude.
Well, awesome.
Really smart.
Well, you kind of answered one of the questions I had is, as far as mainstream films, you mentioned Roller Girl, you mentioned Bridget Fonda. Are there any other nude scenes that come to mind as you were when you were hitting the library? And by the way, you were jerking off in the library.
No.
Home,
I
right?
would rent the VHS from the library and take it home.
Okay. Isn't that funny to think? And I guarantee
the trouble we had to all go to back in the day, right?
And I guarantee you, when you would pause on that part of the VHS, it was probably all squiggly because every perv
was doing the same thing.
They used to say that when you rent Basic Instinct, you could almost, on video, almost couldn't see the leg cross scene because everyone was fucking pausing and checking it out.
All the tape was damaged.
Yeah, but do you have any that just blew your mind, where just as a kid or just?
I mean, I'd have to say those. I mean, those two.
Those two
that's
are
good. I mean,
those are great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I love that you brought that up because the Bridget Fonda scene it's not a ton of nudity. You really only see her butt for a brief second.
Only as she's walking out.
It's so freaking hot.
It's hot. One of the hottest scenes ever.
Yeah.
And there's also another one in I don't think it's Get Shorty. It's the sequel to Get Shorty.
But those aren't.
Yeah, they're but with Uma Thurman, where he walks out and she's just sunbathing. You just see her back and then the bottom of the bathing suit. So hot. Implied nudity sometimes to me is even better than the actual.
I
nudity.
agree. Yeah, but it has to be in a certain circumstance.
Well, we were just talking about it's weird the things that turn you on. We've been going nuts over there was this Baked in Brooklyn movie from 2016 that came out, and Alexandra Daddario, who was in True Detective, and she's going to be in the Baywatch movie this summer. She has these huge natural breasts. She's gorgeous, and her back was to the camera, but she had back boobs, swingers.
Mm-hmm.
So from
the ultimate side boob.
Yes, they were just because they're heavy, they're round, they're just.
And even though we're not getting a frontal
at all,
it's still so freaking hot.
It's so
and all
fucking
we
hot.
saw was
the swing of it. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us.
I know. Yeah.
You guys can't see this, but me and Skin and James are smiling ear to ear right now.
Yeah, but the point is that, like I said, to you that's an amazing nude scene, and the reality is when you watch the scene, there's not a ton of nudity, but there's something about that scene that gets you going.
It's just it's
every
hot.
guy. That's why I like to ask people what are their favorite nude scenes, because everyone has a different. It's where you were in your life when you saw it.
Everything's circumstantial, and it's so meaningful. Do you have any standout celebrities that you either want to see naked or you love seeing naked?
I don't.
You've seen a lot of them in person.
So for me, I usually, for the most part, I find that the majority of people in this world have a baseline attractiveness. So there are people that are more extraordinarily attractive or extraordinarily unattractive, but for the most part, everybody falls within that range of just kind of generally attractive.
Okay.
And then what really makes them stand out and make them more attractive or not is who they are, their personality, whether they like to kick dogs or save babies from burning buildings, whether they're a horrible person or a great person.
Okay.
And because I don't know the real personality of any of these celebrities, I only know their on-screen persona for that movie, especially if they're a good actor. Or
so you have no real attraction to them because you don't know them.
Exactly. So it's just they all kind of fall within that baseline. Now, as far as a character is concerned,
yes.
there are characters that I would be that I might be more interested in seeing naked. Nothing's popping into my head at the moment, but I've been in Vegas for a very, very long time.
We feel you.
And
mentally and emotionally draining, totally.
Yeah.
Covered in the sweat of fans.
I made a point to go outside for 10 minutes and just breathe air, which was nice. Air is important.
Someone told me it was raining today. I was I haven't been outside in 2 days.
What's outside?
I have not been outside. I know you're real busy, but I did want to get into. Tell us a little about Analyzed.
Analyzed.
I want to analyze.
Analyzed.
What is Analyzed?
So Analyzed is I've always been an anal sex fan. I always think, the Rocco Siffredi movies from when I was young were always some of my favorites. And I just love. I think girls look good getting fucked in the butt.
Okay.
So Analyzed is my new anal site. It's that's basically what it is. It's good, hardcore, awesome anal sex. It's people. The saying is, we don't want your first anal, we want your fifth. I want the one after you've already know what you like, know how you like it, can direct and say, I want this, and it can be really crazy and insane. I don't want the first I want good, hard.
Well, it's funny you say that because we had Asa Akira here, and she was saying that the first 20 times she has anal. She hated it, but by 21, you're ready to go.
I want your 21st anal.
But I wouldn't mind being there for the first 20, though.
Right? Well, that sounds awesome. How many videos do you have there?
It's been up for I'm actually really proud of it. It was up for 3 months and then nominated for Site of the Year in the niche category for, anal, obviously.
That's badass.
Yeah, and so I was really proud of that.
Always a pun intended here.
Okay. And now I believe it's up for about 5, maybe on its 6 months.
I love how you aren't even sure because you're just so proud of the content.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you, that's a secret. And I could use my own website. When I started MrSkin.com, I did not start it thinking that I was going to make money. It wasn't about. It was because I had a passion about collecting this stuff and showing it to people. I never dreamed what it would become, and you kind of sounds like you have that same philosophy.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Do what you love, let the audience find
you.
And the thing is, when you're doing something you love, I believe it shows. And I don't think that. I mean, there are definitely companies that just try to check the boxes and just be like, hey, these are the things that are hot and that sell right now.
Yeah.
And they might make more money in the short term.
Right.
And get like a big cash out and run away.
It doesn't get the loyal followers.
How long has Mr. Skin been around?
18 years.
18 years, and I've been performing for 13 years. My company's been around with JamesDean.com, James Production, everything for about 5, I want to say.
Cool.
And I would rather make less money every month for 20, 30, 50 years than make more money off the bat and then move on to the next scam.
So, personal question for you. Do you pretty much only do anal in your personal life? Or do you switch it up?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Anal for me in personal life is just kind of like, it's cool, it's fun, but I personally enjoy the feeling of vaginas more than buttholes. If you look at just like anatomy, the way that
it's
vaginas are versus the way buttholes are, but there is something just super hot about there's a lot of
the taboo behind it.
And mainly I always when I'm talking to models about oh, you're just like an anal fiend. I'm like, honestly, I'd rather watch you get fucked in the ass and then fuck your pussy than be the one doing the anal. Because I just think it looks really hot. I don't know what it is about it. I just think it looks super hot. And so, hence Analyzed.
Analyzed.
I love when people spell it. They're like, "Oh, analyzed." And I'm like, "No, that's a psychologist website." You probably
that sounds like a Mr. Skin term, analyzed.
Yeah,
All right, I like it. Well, we'll check it out. That's great. I'm very happy for you.
Awesome. I'm still trying to think of what character I wanted to see naked my whole life. It's really driving me insane.
Well, I was telling someone asked when I get asked that question, and I'm a little older than you, but Raquel Welch was a phenomenon, in the 60s and 70s, one of the most famous actresses in the world, beautiful, curvy, big boobs, never did a nude scene. That always bummed me out. In the modern era, I'm in, as you can tell, I'm in the big boobs. Christina Hendricks from Mad Men was one that I always wanted, but God, there's tons of girls that are either up-and-comers or famous that haven't been naked, but usually at some point, and it sometimes happens in your 40s, you will do your first nude scene.
Yeah, it's inevitable is what you're saying, right? Look at
it's
Marissa
hard to
Tomei.
go. Right,
Marissa Tomei. There we go. Marissa Tomei's character in Get Shorty.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Marissa Tomei is a mega babe.
I feel you.
But her character in Get Shorty with my biological clock is ticking and all of that stuff.
She killed it.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
That character was just so badass. And the way that they would have that foreplay while they were talking about when they would be arguing and stuff, that was just a beautiful moment.
She's an example. She waited till she was in her 40s, and then people were still blown away by how great she looked.
Well, she's beautiful.
Her body is ridiculous.
Yeah.
She looks better in her 40s than some girls do in their late
I've
teens,
said that.
early 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, another one, Tank Girl.
Tank Girl, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
That
what was that, like
character.
1999, 2000?
Lori Petty.
Lori Petty.
Yeah, that character.
That character of Tank Girl. She's just the ultimate badass.
Any Laura Petty?
Point Break, 1994. Yeah, and she has like short blonde hair, you know, and I'm
just that badass character. So
Hasn't-
you like badass bitches?
I do.
Yes.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the badass ladies.
Very good. So,
All right, James Dean, it's been a pleasure. Everyone, analyzed, not analyzed.com.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
thanks a lot, James.
Well, we are, I think, turned on as much as people can be turned on, and also turned on intellectually. We talked to some of the heaviest hitters in the industry the last couple of
It
days.
was amazing. Porn stars, directors, movie makers,
Toy makers, innovators.
And really, and as I'm sitting here, I just saw a girl that works for Jules Jordan.
Yeah.
Take a picture with a fan, and while she was taking a picture, she grabbed his cock.
My kind of girl.
This is AVN, ladies and gentlemen.
But that's the experience when you get here. Nowhere else will you see girls walking through a hotel outside of the convention in nothing but G-strings.
Yeah.
You know, I'm no stranger to Vegas. I've been here hundreds of times with work, but this is the only time of year where people will be so free and open and openly sexual in a hotel casino or lobby. So I love it. I love what AVN does for humanity. Just opening us up and making us all love sex, understand sex, the necessity of it, and I'm so excited. So we're about to wrap up our second podcast from AVN, and I want to say, Mr. Skin, congratulations on your induction into the Hall of Fame for AVN. It's honestly such a big deal, and I'm so proud of you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be tomorrow night. I'll be going to the show, and I'll be skin-ducted into the AVN Hall of Fame. Very excited about that. So it'll really cap off an amazing time. I really had a lot of fun. I got to say, I am freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
My voice is going. You're yelling and screaming. You're talking to all these people. The energy in here was great. So I hope this sounded as good to you guys as it was fun for us to do.
I totally agree. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening. We love you so much. We'll see you next week on the Mr. Skin Podcast.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.